WWE's long-held monopoly on the pro wrestling biz has loosened somewhat since Tony Khan and family came along, plowed millions of personal funds into AEW startup, and gave wrestlers somewhere else to work and earn good money away from Vince McMahon's purse strings. The competition posed by All Elite Wrestling also means that WWE's spring cleaning release cycle, usually seeing a load of wrestlers pushed out of the door post-WrestleMania, should slow down somewhat. Now, the company are far more likely to try and hold on to talent rather than willingly release them into the wild. Please don't leave me! Sometimes though, just like Jules's weird collection of Phil dolls, even that hoarding strategy isn't feasible. This list, excluding people who didn't quite make the cut in NXT, is all the people who left WWE life behind in 2019 for, well, various reasons. Some were disgruntled by the promotion's tight corporate structure, others were outraged at the way they were being treated creatively, and a few just fancied seeing what else was out there before the option of an AEW jump was even realistic. One wrestler in particular may well steal the spotlight, but it's probably not the one you are thinking of. Their release was so mired in controversy, it threatened a PR disaster. With that in mind, I'm Adam Wilborn from What Culture, and this is every WWE star released in 2019. Number 10, TJP. The future looked bright for TJ Perkins when he won WWE's Cruiserweight Classic tournament in late 2016 and thus became WWE's Cruiserweight champion. But industry historians knew it was going to be a limited role. Can I dab now? WWE's revived interest in Cruiserweight was never going to last long because, well, Vince McMahon, and it was only a matter of time before TJP lost the belt anyway. By 2019, he was doing jobs aplenty to fresh talent like Humberto Carrillo and very rarely made television appearances outside of 205 Live. And yes, that's still on. After dwindling down the cards and less than 3 years after his Showcase Cruiserweight Classic run, Perkins was released on the 22nd of February. He's since moved back to the indie scene, returned to Impact where he once worked as Manic, and landed in New Japan. And apparently he's a Meninist. Number 9, Hideo Itami. During his 5-year stay in WWE, former Noah standout Kenta, it's fair to say, never really reached his full potential, aside from when I fought him on 2K. Damn you! Injuries plagued him, and so did the promotion's inability to book him to his strengths. NXT seemed like the perfect platform for the stiff striker, but things never really worked out, and he too was released on the 22nd of Feb. It kinda tells you all you need to know that one of his greatest achievements as Hideo Itami was winning a qualification tourney for WrestleMania 31's Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Good times were kinda scarce for Kenta in WWE, and he'll be much happier now he's back in Japan as a part of New Japan instead of Noah, controversial, a member of Bullet Club of course, and currently the reigning never openweight champion. I think it's fair to say leaving WWE was probably the best call for everyone. Number 8, RHYNO. 10 years went by between runs in WWE for ex-ECW man-beast RHYNO, and I went from looking like this to looking like this. Not much of an improvement really, is it? Kinda hilariously for someone who cut his teeth as an intense heel who just gore you into oblivion, his latter-day run as a sort of cheese and cracker eating baby face alongside Heath Slater was really good, and they became the inaugural SmackDown Tag Team Champions post-2016 draft. That was kind of the height of his second stint, but still, cheese and crackers and tag belts, I'll take it. RHYNO was given one last payday as part of the Battle Royal crowd at Mania 35 before announcing some indie dates and quietly departing the company. R.I.P. Easy Cheese. He's not dead. Number 7, Jordan Myles. It is wise for anyone discussing Jordan Myles' departure from WWE to tread lightly. Racism allegations should always be taken seriously, and Jordan Myles was left incensed when he perceived a company t-shirt to be disrespectful and racist. Smoothing things over was always going to be challenging after that, but the controversy didn't end there. WWE claimed that the wrestler had given his approval over the shirt design before he started bashing his employer because of it. And then Myles began tweeting about racism in Ring of Honor before being criticized for bringing Jay Lethal's name into things. Leave Jay Lethal alone, he's a top bloke. After leaving WWE in November, on the 7th of December, he announced via Twitter that he would be quitting wrestling. Number 6, The Ascension. Right, whoever penned the line that said JBL had to call The Ascension a subpar Road Warriors ripoff when they jumped ship from NXT to WWE's main roster, you hang your head in shame. That line instantly buried them to a wider audience and ruined any chance that Connor and Victor had of becoming an intimidating heel tag team. Plus, it probably broke the heart of that bloke who's always in the front row for WWE pay-per-views with an Ascension sign. You know what I'm talking about. As a result, the next 5 years sort of passed by without much of note for the former NXT badasses. Connor and Victor were house show regulars without ever threatening the main titles on TV. Basically, if you needed a team to get buried in order to put someone over, who are you gonna call? Yeah, The Ascension. They were last relevant as a part of Breezango's Fashion Files in late 2017, and they've hardly been seen since. But who knows, maybe the Cosmic Wasteland will hook back up with Cody in AEW. Number 5, Sin Cara. I'll be honest, if anyone else like me who lived through Sin Cara's disastrous debut run in 2011 had told me he was still going to be with the company in 2019, I would have told them to piss off more than the comment section does to me. Now though, the character probably dies with the release of Jorge Arias, also known as the second man under the mask. He requested his own release from WWE on the 8th of December, but he can probably look back on his run as far better than his predecessors, Mystico. Arias successfully revived the Sin Cara name under the Lucha Dragons tag team with Kalisto, but he wasn't doing much as a single star recently. For me, AEW would be a great landing spot for him, or the revamped NWA, but he seems to have hitched his wagon to AAA, where he now wrestles under the name Cinta de Oro. Really sorry if I got that wrong. Number 4, Ty Dillinger. What a difference 10 months can make to one man's happiness and pro wrestling career. Wait a second. As Ty Dillinger in WWE, AEW's Shawn Spears was kind of just going nowhere. His one-note perfect 10 gimmick was kind of growing a little bit tired. He was being treated like this generation's Barry Horowitz, and there were no signs that things were going to get any better for him anytime soon. In All Elite Wrestling, he has the legendary Tully Blanchard as his manager, more creative freedom, and looks genuinely motivated. Look at it this way, Ty's last WWE matches were non-televised losses to EC3 and Shelton Benjamin, whereas Shawn Spears' All Elite Wrestling debut was his newsworthy 17-minute loss to Cody at All Out. That speaks volumes about how his career has turned around since escaping his house show hell. Number 3, Luke Harper. Big Luke Harper finally got what he's wanted for the longest time when WWE finally agreed to release him on the 8th of December. It's taken patience, an open plea to the promotion on social media, and one final short run by old partner Eric Rowan's side, but finally, he is free. WWE weren't keen on terminating Harper's contract for a long while, despite hardly using him and letting a talented worker just sit out on the sidelines. Seemingly, Vince McMahon didn't want to use him, but he also didn't want anyone else to use him either. He is powerless to stop that now, though. Once Luke Harper's standard 90-day no-compete clause is up, expect him to ink a full-time deal somewhere else, probably AEW. In the short term, a return to Ring of Honor may well be on the cards. Number 2, Goldust. Before morphing into the controversial androgynous Goldust character in 1995, Dustin Rhodes had worked shots in WWE as early as 1990. Since then, he has had 5 separate stints in the organisation, but it looks like his latest will be his last unless something bloody dramatic happens in AEW. That's where Dustin will make his home for the foreseeable future, and let's be honest, it was always going to happen. AEW's creation gave Rhodes somewhere new to hang his hat, and he was always going to fit snugly into All Elite Wrestling's roster as a battle-hardened legend. A match against younger brother Cody at Double or Nothing proved Dustin has a lot more left in him beyond awkward comedy spots on WWE TV. So I'm just Not very good with blood. Number 1, Dean Ambrose. I'm never going to live this one down, am I? Jon Moxley's blood-soaked bump fest against Kenny Omega at AEW's Full Gear was exactly the sort of match that Dean Ambrose has always wanted to have in WWE. Although, watching it, you can kind of understand why Vinnie Mac wasn't keen. However, that doesn't give he or WWE the excuse for pissing off Moxley to the point of literally no return. There were a few glimpses as to how good he is towards the end of his WWE run, but he's shown during his fleeting appearances in New Japan he is one hell of a pro wrestler. Earlier this year, the then Ambrose cut a depressed figure who was just seemingly going through the motions rather than a red-hot, turned-on performer who could tear the bloody house down. Shooter! Jon wanted out, and he wanted to vent his frustrations on podcasts as well as physically inside the ring against fresh opponents. After leaving in April, thank God he got his wish. Yeah, turns out that wasn't a work. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. Plus, you can check out more videos right here. Thanks for watching. I've been Adam from What Culture, and I'll see you soon.